WJTN, 12 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is 2020, and a caller, matter of fact, a regular listener, and this caller to the radio station just kind of scared me a little bit by saying that the total number of days to Christmas is 9. Whew. That'll give you as much of a chill as the wind this morning. 9 days to Christmas. In this year in which everything seems so upside down. It is delightfully cathartic to have a real, genuine holiday experience. And one of those happened to me yesterday. I was invited by Joe Pillatieri of Joe's Lawn and Plowing to Our Lady of Loreto Church in Falconer, where Joe is active. He wanted me to conduct an interview, part of which you will hear in a few minutes here, and to record one piece of music. I have known Melissa Beekner, who is the director of music at Our Lady of Loreto, for a long time. So following our interview, I went upstairs, set up my microphone in the high choir loft at the back of the church where the musical instruments are, and then left so that Melissa could take her mask off and perform Jesu Bambino. from Our Lady of Loreto Church in Falconer yesterday, Melissa Buechner. Prior to that time, I had conducted an interview, which you will hear part one of next. Radio listener, you will hear the different acoustics of this moment. I speak to you from Our Lady of Loreto Church in Falconer, and I was invited here by a good friend of many of us, Joe Pillatieri, who is at Joe's Lawn and Plowing, plows our driveway if it should ever snow, up at the radio station. And he wanted me to come down here and talk to a couple of people about things that are coming up here in the Falconer community, and particularly at this church. So joining me now is John Short, one of the parishioners here. Hello, John.
Hi, nice to see you, Dennis.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
And Melissa Buechner.
Hi, Dennis.
Melissa, do you have a title here?
Yes, I'm the music director here at Our Lady of Loreto.
Now, I have come to see both of you today to talk about several programs that are happening in the Falconer area to begin with, and then at this church. So there's a major event that will be going online in just a few days as we speak here on Tuesday morning. What is that major event?
So we are putting on the Falconer Community Christmas event, and that is going to be an online concert event this year where we have asked the various churches here in Falconer to participate with musical numbers. And we've put that together into a program with narration between the numbers, and Joe Pillatieri has done a great job getting shots from all of the various churches to include in that program. It's about 10 pieces, and we have 3 of the Falconer churches that will be presenting performances for that. Our Lady of Loreto, Peace Wesleyan, and Levant Wesleyan churches are all participating in that.
And this is something that will be available online at a certain time, and then many days after that.
Yes, so this is going to be on Our Lady of Loreto's YouTube channel, so you can find that by searching for Our Lady of Loreto, Falconer, New York, and Loreto has 1 T. And that program will be available starting Friday, December 18th, and that will be up through the holidays, and really anytime you can search for it and enjoy that program.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about what's in that show, or do you just want to hold us in suspense, Melissa?
It's a mix of instrumental and vocal numbers from all of the churches that are participating, and I think it's going to be a really great program. People are willing to share their gifts and their talents with the community, and I think you will really enjoy all of the holiday sacred music that's being presented.
This is Our Lady of Loreto in Falconer, and I'm speaking with both John Short and Melissa Buechner. Now, John, Melissa, would it be fair to call this a small church?
Yeah, I would say so, yes. Yeah, we aren't a large parish, but we're a very active parish, right? So we have our programs in the community. We try to get as many people involved in the parish and in the community as we possibly can.
And you have found ways to have your church gather and participate in more or less the normal events, despite the fact that we are facing COVID-19. I mean, as we stand here right in the middle of Our Lady of Loreto Church, we're on 2 separate microphones and masks and special windscreen and all of that. So we are taking all the precautions. You are too, and yet you found a way to make all of this happen.
Yes, it's been very successful. We've been able to, all the parishioners at the end of every Mass, clean up after themselves, disinfect their area, and everybody spreads out. Every other pew is taped off so that nobody sits in those. So we have plenty of social distancing available here in the church. So,
and for those who are not comfortable or able to come to church, you are doing live streaming now as well.
Yes, we are. Yes, and that started Sunday, this past Sunday, and will continue on right through Advent. And certainly Joe has been instrumental in being able to pull that together. And if anybody, the masses that he streams will also stay on our YouTube channel. So if somebody can't actually watch the Mass live, they can watch it afterwards. So.
And which Mass or Masses is or are being streamed here, John?
Just the Sunday Masses.
And what time is that then?
And that starts at 9 o'clock in the morning.
John Short and Melissa Buechner will have more to say from Our Lady of Loreto Church in Falconer, excuse me, coming up right after the 7:30 news and sports on WJTN. WJTN, our public service programming underwritten by the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation. At the request of Joe Pilatieri of Joe's Lawn and Plowing, for whom we advertise here on WJTN, I spent a little time yesterday morning at Our Lady of Loreto Church in Falconer. While I was there, I interviewed two people. One of them, John Short, a parishioner there, and Melissa Beekner, the director of music at Our Lady of Loreto. This is part 2 of that interview. Now, I would like to, since the holiday season is upon us, and there are always special things that happen in the churches, I want to have both you, John Short, and Melissa Beekner, tell me about the schedule of events that you're inviting people to here and online for the holiday.
Sure. So as John mentioned, we are live streaming all of our Sunday Masses at 9 a.m. And for the Christmas season, we have our Christmas Eve Vigil Mass. That is happening at 3:30 on the 24th. But there will be a half an hour of music prior to that service. So we will be doing music at 3 o'clock. That will also be streamed on the YouTube channel. So music at 3, and then Mass starts at 3:30. And then on Christmas morning, the Mass will be at 9 a.m., and that will be streamed on the YouTube channel or available here if people feel comfortable and would like to join us for the in-person service.
What would you like to say about particularly those Christmas services? Anything special about how you present them here?
I think our church does a really nice job of just having a beautiful sacred service. We usually, for the music for those services, I'm typically joined by Brandon Caruso, who sings with me and also plays the trumpet. So we have some really festive numbers that we put together for those masses, and I think it's a beautiful experience.
Let me ask both of you, as we bring the interview part of this to a conclusion, what are the challenges of doing this in the current environment? Is it harder, John? I'm looking at your face here, picking up some cues.
Yeah, it's been a challenge, and of course, Father Joe has been very supportive.
Father Joe?
Father Joe, yeah, Father Joe Janicek. He's been very supportive of our efforts to try to keep everything open and as much as possible, so we can have it available to as many people as that can make it. And even early on in the year, we were recording the masses for the people that couldn't get to the mass itself, they're live. So we've been very cautious about making sure everything is clean and sanitized and available so people that do come can feel comfortable.
And musically, I'd say it's a challenge because I know so many people love to be able to raise their voices in song on Sunday mornings. And there are lots of restrictions right now as far as singing in a group goes. So for our masses, I am the only one who does any singing during the masses. And for these Christmas services, we are unable to have a choir for the services for safety reasons. And I think that can be kind of a challenge when people love to participate in a church service in that way. So we're anxious to be able to share these experiences on our YouTube channel, on these live streams, and anxious to get back to when we can all sing together as well.
Well, and I appreciate your ending on that point, Melissa Beekner, because I have called it one of the most cruel ironies of COVID-19, and that is that it forces people not to do something that they really find a lot of comfort and joy in, and that is singing together, whether you have little skill or a lot. It's just something that people find great joy in, and at this time of year in which people are seeking joy, it's kind of joy denied. Does this make sense, what I'm saying here?
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for inviting me down here to Our Lady of Loreto, and I enjoyed very much the opportunity to speak with you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dennis.
John Short, Melissa Beekner from Our Lady of Loreto yesterday. Following that, Melissa did sing Jesu Bambino for me to record. I stepped away so she could take her mask off and perform up in the choir loft area there. I put that on the air once earlier this morning, and will do so again between now and the major upcoming holiday. Right now we have other work to do. It's 14 before 8 o'clock, WJTN.